before this video starts, you're winning 87% of people that are not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel. What are you doing? Go down below, hit that subscribe button, and then turn on notifications. Like this video so it gets shared around with more people. And comment down below of video ideas or anything I should do in the future. And I'm also thinking about doing some reaction videos. So if you want me to start doing reaction videos, comment down below. Also, I'm trying to get some followers on Instagram and Twitter. So this is my Twitter and this is my Instagram. So go and follow that. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram and 100 followers on Twitter. So make sure to go follow that. And yeah, let's get straight into the video. What's on guys, we're back with a brand new video. In today's video we are doing some 2021 season predictions. My first time ever doing this, so don't hate on me if I predict something that you think is totally false. So this is just my predictions. Comment your predictions down below. I will only be doing like award predictions and who I think will win the flag. My full ladder predictions, all 18 teams, will be up in the next few days or the week or something. So yeah, this is only going to be the award and flag prediction. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. First season prediction is the Coleman Medal, and I have, this could be a surprise for some people, but Ben Brown, he recently this year has joined the Melbourne Football Club, which I feel like can help him so much because he kicked the most goals out of anyone in the comp over the past like 3 years before 2020. So, but he's never picked up a Coleman Medal. He's came second twice, third once. So he's primed to win one, and he just hit the prime of his career. And North, they have a lack of like kicking ability with any of their players, so they were just pretty much booting it in and landing on his head, and he was kicking goals. Like in the highlights we're watching right now, this is when he kicked 10 goals in a game against Port in round 22, 2019. So this was only a year ago or a year and a half ago. So he's still, I reckon, if he comes out and he's healthy and he plays every game, he's primed to win the Coleman Medal. I could be completely wrong with this, so comment down below who you think will win the Coleman Medal. But this is my prediction, so yeah. Right, the next one is the Breakout Player, and I'm choosing Luke Davies-Uniacke. He was, I think he was the third pick a couple drafts ago. He hasn't really he showed potential, but he hasn't really built into what people thought he was. But I feel like North, they're not going to be too great next year. They're going to have a lot of young players, so he'll actually get midfield time. Because in the past, they played older midfielders like Shaun Higgins. So now that Shaun Higgins has left, it opens up a great spot in the midfield for Luke Davies-Uniacke with Josh Sinkham and the new addition Will Phillips in the draft to just absolutely break out. And I feel like this bloke, he's shown, I reckon the one game this year that really showed this bloke's an actual gun was a game against Adelaide where he kicked 2 goals, had 20 touches, and you go, geez, if this bloke can do this consistently, he'll be an absolute gun. So I feel like next year will be his breakout year and he'll turn into an actual elite midfielder. Next up is my Rising Star prediction. I'm predicting that Will Phillips will win the Rising Star. So, unlike every other person I've seen do a prediction, they've always picked Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. And even though I agree Jamarra Ugle-Hagan will be an absolute star, but I just can't see him winning it when he has a forward line mixed with Josh Bruce and Aaron Norton that he has to try to fight minutes over and fight playing time over. So I just feel like there's too many scoring options on that list, on the Western Bulldogs list. They're going to be good next year, but it won't be off the back of Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. He'll help him out definitely. He'll be another scoring option, and he'll add some X factor to that team. But I feel like Will Phillips, he'll get heaps of the ball, judging because he's in a team that's predicted to go bottom 2 next year in North Melbourne. So he'll play every single game. He'll be starting in the guts every single game. So I just feel like Will Phillips will be the Rising Star winner. Next up is my surprise All-Australian, and I've chose Nick Coffield. With this pick, there's no real clarification around the surprise All-Australian, just who you personally think that no one else really thinks could pull out an All-Australian. And this bloke, I reckon if he started how he ended the season, this bloke could have been All-Australian this year, averaging like 3 intercept marks a game. I think he was in total marks for the year. I think he was like third, like he was like top 5 intercept marks. He absolutely is a star of the competition building, and he's only like 20 years old, so he can still build into his frame. He's definitely a future All-Australian, I can tell you that one for free. But that is my pick for the surprise All-Australian. Comment down below who you think will be your surprise All-Australian. This is more about, like, I might be biased to St Kilda, but I think it's like what your team, who you really think from your team can become an All-Australian, because it's not really a surprise if it's out there in the media and you don't go for the team. Next up is the Brownlow Medal, and I've chose Jack Steele. This bloke absolutely broke out in 2020, which is absolutely insane. He's my personal favourite player. Hopefully there's no bias aside. I reckon anyone that watches football last year was like, holy crap, where'd this bloke come from? And he's an absolute gun. I think he came second in tackles for the season, so he plays defense. He was like, I think he played the most time in the midfield for the most goals. Like, even though Dusty as a midfielder probably did kick the most goals, it's just that, but he sits forward. Like, Jack Steele never sits forward, he just kicks goals from the midfield, so he kicked the most goals from a midfielder, which is pretty good. And he's built, like, he's coming in, he's just about to hit his prime of his career. He's only 25 years old, it's his birthday, as the time of recording this video, so he's primed to have an absolute excellent season. This was his breakout year. Imagine what he does in the next couple of years. He'll be an absolute insane. He could hit the likes of like the Nat Fifes and the Crippses and all that stuff. So there's about probably 5 people that are in contention. He's one of them. So, but who knows who's going to win the Brownlow? Probably too early to tell until you actually start seeing the midfielders play, because it was a different year last year. So you don't know when the quarters go up to 20 again if the midfielders will play like they did. I'm a bit scared about Christian Petrarca, that's why I didn't pick him, because I feel like his problem his whole career was in endurance, and it might not be a surprise that the only year that he actually has a good season is when your endurance levels don't really matter, because there's so many rotations and this shorter time. So he'll be a risk next year, but Jack Steele's my pick. Next up is the Flag and Norm Smith, and I feel like you cannot go past the Cats. After picking up Isaac Smith, Sean Higgins and Jeremy Cameron, like, the only reason that Geelong actually got found out this year was due to their, like, everyone, like, they were double teaming Tom Hawkins in the goal square, but you can't do that when there's another Coleman medalist in the forward line in Jeremy Cameron. I feel like Jeremy Cameron did have an off year, but if you notice there's a pattern that every time you're a free agent going into that year, you usually underperform, because there's too many things in your mind, you're trying to think where you want to play next season. Like, at the start of the year, I thought 100% Jeremy Cameron's staying. GWS is still in the hunt for a flag, but everyone knows that GWS had a huge drop-off this year, which caused a lot of their players to leave, and Jeremy Cameron was one of them. And then adding Sean Higgins and Isaac Smith, I reckon, was a bit underrated. Like, they just lost Gary Ablett, which is probably the best player in AFL history, but he was out of his prime. He was good for a few touches a match, but he wasn't doing anything too crazy. But if you had Sean Higgins, who 2 years ago wasn't All-Australian, had the best year of his career, and he's still not playing at that bad of a level, he's still playing at a really good level, above average for sure. And then you got Isaac Smith, that I reckon has been the most consistent player during a whole career. The way he was playing was just absolutely insane. So his endurance, he can run up the wing, and then that just leaves open that Dangerfield can play the full season forward like Nat Fife did this year with Fremantle. Because then you have Menengola, Isaac Smith on the wings, and you have Mitch Duncan that can finally play guts. He's been wanting to play guts his whole career, but he's been an outside midfielder due to how many superstar players have been at Geelong. And then now they have like Joel Selwood, he can go back on the guts because he's played a bit of wing in 2018 and 2019, so he can play full-time guts, and that's what he's good at. So yeah, this team's just looking primed. And then I've chose Dangerfield as the Norm Smith because I feel like after he kind of had a pretty poor performance in the 2020 grand final, so I feel like he'll be angry because that's the type of man Dangerfield is. So he'll be trying to prove himself in the big stage. It was his first ever grand final, so he won't want to make two losses for 2 games. So I reckon he'll try his hardest. I thought he was going to try his hardest this year, but the Tigers were just too good. So we'll see with a change of team environment and Jeremy Cameron, Isaac Smith and Sean Higgins to help him out, what he can do. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video, hit that notification bell, comment what you thought of my predictions, and comment your season predictions down below. I'll be doing a ladder prediction of all 18 teams in the coming days, so make sure to stick around for that and subscribe, and thanks for watching.